Hey, what's up, everybody? True Boxing here. Thank you for coming back to get hit with the truth. So today we're doing the what's next on Regis Prograis, the former two-time junior welterweight champ at 140, following a one-sided 12-round decision loss to Devin Haney on December 9th on DAZN pay-per-view, where he lost the WBC junior welterweight title. Before we get into that, if you could smash the like button, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel. I really do appreciate any and all support that I can get as I continue to build my channel here. And before we get into it, guys, my year-end champions report, the 2023 champions report on all four governing bodies, the WBO, IBF, WBA, and WBC, covering all title belts from 122 all the way to heavyweight, and all champions and what happened this year and what possibly could be going down. Those are coming early next week. Then once I'm done with those, I am starting my annual my annual top 10s. The 2023 top 10s, the fighters from each weight class from 122 all the way to heavyweight, the guys that made the top 10 will all get their own individual video, and I'll go 10 all the way down to 1, posting the videos so you guys can see what I thought and who the top guys are. So make sure you're paying attention to all that. So now back to Regis Prograis. Prograis went in there and got dominated against a very good young fighter in Devin Haney. No shame losing, but I think a lot of people thought that Prograis was going to do better. I certainly did. But I'm also not surprised because of the style clash that Devin gave him so much problems. Devin's a really good fighter, could be a great fighter. Still need to see how good he is, but Regis getting older, reflexes aren't there like they used to be, and in a way I'm kind of not surprised he got dominated the way he did. But hey, he came out of it saying he wants to become a 3-time world champion and still fight. So the big question is, what's next for Regis Prograis following this loss? First off, a move to welterweight. Right now, I don't know. And to be honest, I don't think he's leaning towards that, because welterweight right now, guys, to be honest, is controlled by the PBC. It still is, Most of the best fighters there are PBC guys, and I just don't see Prograis getting many big fights at that weight. So right now, I think Prograis, he doesn't seem to have a problem making the weight. So why not just stay here and see if he can make some noise? Because 140 is where it's at, guys, to be honest. 140 has some really deep talent and good fighters in it. And Regis now is in a position to where he might be viewed as kind of a gatekeeper, stepping stone, older veteran, former champ that's got someone with a name. You can make a little bit of money off him, and if you could beat him, guys might be more willing to take a chance now because Devin dominated him so one-sided. Excuse me. So let's run through the guys that I have in the top 10 right now, the top guys at junior welterweight, and see what possibly could be next for Prograis following this loss. So we start with a Devin Haney rematch. No chance of happening. Devin's not going to fight him again. He doesn't need to. Devin made quick work of him. Then there's Teofimo Lopez, the WBO champion. I don't see this one. Teo beat the guy that beat Prograis, and he beat him pretty solid in Josh Taylor. I don't think there's a need, a reason for this fight at all. And I don't think, the Teo's just gonna, he's already fighting Jermaine Ortiz next, and I think he's just gonna try to keep bigger name fighters than a guy like Prograis. Then there's Josh Taylor, a rematch. I honestly don't believe Taylor's interested in a rematch, especially coming off of a loss, because he won the first fight and he's gonna look at it like it's kind of high risk. Maybe if Prograis was willing to come up to welterweight, he might entertain a rematch, just because it would probably do well in terms of money, and it'd be a crossroads fight for the two fighters. But I don't know if Prograis is going to want that, and I don't know if Taylor's 100% going to want it, so I'm leaning towards the less likely. Then there's Jose Ramirez, a former unified champ. you know, Ramirez ran from this fight. I'm going to be straight with everybody. He ran from this fight earlier this year. I lost some respect for him because of that. When he had a chance to fight Prograis for the title. Now, with them being with rival promoters, I don't see it. I just don't see them signing on to fight unless it was like an eliminator. But then again, the money situation is going to come up, and I don't know if Ramirez is going to be down. I think Prograis would be down, but I just don't think Ramirez would be. Then there's Jack Catterall. I say, why not? You know, Catterall has been waiting around for a title shot. He wants to fight. Why not? If Catterall cannot get a bigger name or a world title fight, why not Catterall? Because they're both with DAZN, they're both a Matchroom. I think Eddie Hearn would be quick to make this fight, and he'd be smart to make this fight, because Catterall really is desperate for a big fight and wants a bigger name, and he wants to build on the fact that he should have got the victory over Josh Taylor last year and he didn't. So for me, I absolutely believe that he needs to pursue a fight with Catterall. I think that'd be smart for Prograis, smart for Catterall, and again, the winner can really push forward towards something bigger. Sandor Martin. If for some reason Devin Haney doesn't fight Martin in a mandatory fight next, why not Prograis and Martin? I think that'd be a good one for Prograis. Martin's got a name. He beat Mikey Garcia. He had a controversial loss to Teofimo Lopez last year. Prograis can keep himself relevant by taking a chance against a guy like Martin. So yeah, I mean, I wouldn't rule it out completely, because Martin's worked with Matchroom and Eddie Hearn and DAZN before. So why not do it again? Then there's Gary Antoine Russell. Not seeing it just because of the promoters clash. You know, Gary Antoine Russell's with the PBC and Prime Video now, and Regis Prograis is with DAZN and Eddie Hearn. Subriel Matias for the IBF Championship. I mean, I know Matias has ties with the PBC. If the fight could be made and he wants another title shot, because Matias is going to be avoided. Prograis was down to fight Matias before he lost. I think Prograis would throw his name in the mix and be like, hey, I'll fight him. Let's do this. I wouldn't rule this one out, to be honest, guys. I think Prograis might tell Eddie Hearn, I want a world title, and if I beat this guy, then I'm coming back to DAZN and Matchroom with another world title. We can unify, you know, and everything. I think Prograis would be down for this fight if Matias was down for it, and if the promoters can get together. But I'm leaning towards the less likely, because, you know, I don't know if the promoters can get together for this fight, you know? Then there's Arnold Barboza Jr. Another one that I think if the two promoters that work with DAZN can work together in Golden Boy and Matchroom and make this fight, because Barboza's with Golden Boy now, why not? Especially if Barboza doesn't get the Teofimo Lopez fight, since he's the #1 contender. I think he might be down to fight. Prograis to build on his name. Again, though, kind of leaning towards the less likely, because I think Oscar and Golden Boy might try to protect Barboza prior to a mandatory title shot. Ryan Garcia. I say, why not? Right here. If Devin Haney and Ryan decide to not fight each other, why not Ryan say, hey, I'm going to knock Prograis out because you couldn't knock him out? And I think that would make a lot of sense. Ryan would probably go in the favorite into that fight. And both these guys, it's a fight that can be sold, because Prograis talks a lot of shit and Ryan talks a lot of shit. I think it makes sense. I think Ryan goes into it and says, hey, I'm going to knock this fool out because you couldn't, because you're weak, Devin Haney. And I think that would sell and bring the fight with Devin Haney to the table. I think this fight makes a ton of sense. And then after that, Rolly Romero, I don't see it. Romero's, with the PBC, but he's also got mandatories due. So for Regis Prograis, there are a lot of good options out there for him. Those guys gotta want to fight. I honestly think, outside of the top 3 or 4, there's a lot of good options. I think the Jack Catterall fight, he doesn't get a bigger fight. I think that makes sense. They're both with Eddie Hearn and Matchroom, and I think Eddie Hearn kind of owes it to both his fighters to push for a fight like this, especially if Prograis wants it following that loss. Sandor Martin, if he doesn't get the fight with Devin Haney, makes a ton of sense. Subriel Matias for the IBF title. If the promoters can work together, absolutely would love to see it. Arnold Barbosa works with the zone as well. He's part of Golden Boy. Could see it. Ryan Garcia the same way. So I think there's a lot of potential for Regis Prograis, some good matchups. He's got to be willing. I think he might be. But I also wouldn't be surprised if he returns by the middle of the year to just take on somebody to score a knockout against real quick and to shake off the loss. But we'll see. Maybe he wants to jump back in feet first while people are underestimating him. So we'll see what happens. But that's it. That's what I got. That's my what's next on the former two-time junior welterweight world champion Regis Prograis, following a one-sided decision loss to Devin Haney, in which he lost the WBC title on December 9th on DAZN pay-per-view. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, smash the like button, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel. I appreciate any and all support. This is True Boxing. You've been hit with the truth.